La patente di categoria B, salvo diverse limitazioni, riportata sul documento stesso, o salvo allineamento alla data del compleanno del titolare, ha validità di 10 anni se rilasciata o confermata a chi non ha superato i 50 anni di età. What does this statement mean? With regards to the validity of your license, la validità della patente, the validity of your license, this statement is saying that la patente di guida di categoria B, the driving license category B, which is the one that all of us are looking for, okay? Except in cases where the document itself limits the timing or the date of birth of the titolare, that is, data del compleanno del titolare, the date of birth of the owner of that license, okay? So except on these two conditions, usually the validity of the license is 10 years, 10 anni. Validità di 10 anni, validity of 10 years, if it is released or confirmed to someone who has not yet crossed, exceeded, superseded, or has gone above 50 years. So if I am 49 years old and they give me my license for the first time, let's say I am 49 years old, I go to get my license, they will give me a license of 10 years validity because I have not crossed 50 years. Okay? If, for example, I am 51 years old and I go to get my license, they will not give me a license of 10 years old because I have crossed 50 years. That is what they're saying here. Per chi non ha superato i 50 anni di età. If I have not crossed 50 years, the validity of the license is 10 years. Number 2. La patente di guida è confermata a chi a seguito di esito favorevole dell'apposito accertamento sanitario eseguito dal medico autorizzato. The only time they will give you your license is if you have been cleared by a competent authorized doctor. Okay? Esito favorevole means positive result. That is, if after checking it, they say, okay, this guy is okay, you can go ahead with your patent application. If not on that case, they cannot give you your license. Okay? Esito favorevole means favorable result. Favorable result. Favorable evaluation. Okay? If it is not favorable, they will not proceed. So, la patente di guida è confermata a seguito, that is, after, following esito favorevole. After there has been a favorable review that, okay, this person is fine health-wise, then you can go ahead with your license. Let's look at another point that deals with the validity of your license. Validity of your license. We talked about patente B before. In number 4, it talks about patente BE. Patente BE. Okay? Again, in this case, if you have not crossed 50 years, the validity of your license is the same 10 years they will give you. Okay, so in the case of patente B, 10 years license as long as you've not crossed 50 years. Patente BE, 10 years license if you've not crossed 50 years. Okay, unless there is something else that that came into the mix. For example, some documentation or alignment with your date of birth, it might make it a bit less than 10 years, 9 years and 10 months, 9 years and 11 months, something like that. But if you look at it in general, it is usually 10 years validity of license. Let's look at another one. Patente A. Patente A. Again, in this case, as long as you've not crossed 50 years of age, they will give you 10 years license. So, Patente B, Patente BE, Patente A. Okay? As long as you've not crossed 50 years, it will be 10 years license. Number 10 says la patente di guida è confermata se il titolare della stessa è ancora in possesso dei requisiti fisici e psichici prescritti. So, we said before that if a doctor checks you, a competent authorized doctor, if he checks and he says this guy is okay health-wise, you can proceed with your license. Okay? Your license will be confirmed. But if not, it will not be confirmed. You will not proceed with it. Okay, so this is another expression, another sentence that says that mentions the same point in a different way. Requisiti fisici. They're looking at your physical health. Okay? Requisiti psichici. Psichici refers to your mental health, your mind. Are you healthy in your mind? Okay? So anyone that is not healthy in his mind cannot be allowed to be driving on the road because it could lead to very bad accidents. Let's look at other aspects of the validity of your license as well. We have talked about 10 years validity being only when you've not crossed 50 years. What about if you have crossed 50 years? Well, first of all, patente B speciale, which is BS, la patente di categoria B speciale, salvo diverse limitazioni riportate sul documento stesso o salvo allineamento alla data del compleanno del titolare, ha validità di 5 anni, se rilasciata o confermata a chi non ha superato i 70 anni di età. So for patente BS, which is a special patente, as long as you've not crossed 70 years, you will always have 5 years of validity. After 5 years, you renew. After 5 years, you renew like that until you are 70 years. If you cross 70 years, it will change. Okay? You will no longer get for 5 years. It will very likely reduce. This is for patente B speciale. Now let's look at for patente B, la patente di categoria B. It says, salvo diverse limitazioni riportate sul documento stesso o salvo allineamento alla data del compleanno del titolare, la ha validità a moment, let me make it bigger for you. Okay. So, o salvo allineamento alla data del compleanno del titolare, ha validità di 5 anni se rilasciata o confermata a chi non ha a chi ha un'età compresa fra 50 e 70 anni di età. Okay? So if you are between 50 years and 70 years, for patente B, if you're between 50 and 70 for patente B, you get 5 years license. So if I'm getting my license for the first time at 51 years old, they will just give me 5 years license. If I'm getting my patente, let's say I'm renewing my patente, I had my patente already before, but I'm going to renew, and I'm 51 years old, they will take it down from 10 years validity to 5 years. Okay, so this for patente B. Remember that for patente BS, patente B speciale, it is 5 years from beginning till you hit 70. Once you cross 70, it changes. For patente B, from the time you get it the first time until you reach 50, it is 10 years. Once you cross 50, it goes down to 5 until you reach 70. Okay? Next point, number 6. Okay, I think we should talk about number 8. It's better before we go back to number 6. Okay. So number 8 says, la patente di categoria B, salvo diversa limitazione, riportata sul documento stesso o salvo allineamento alla data del compleanno del titolare, ha validità di 3 anni, se rilasciata o confermata a chi ha un'età compresa fra 70 e 80. So if I'm between 70 and 80 for patente B, my license is 3 years. 3 years. And then number 9 says that if I have crossed 80 years, ha validità di 2 anni se rilasciata o confermata a chi ha superato 80 anni di età. If I have crossed 80 years, 2 years is what they will give me. Okay. Let's go back to number 6. Number 6 talks about a point we made before, that a medical doctor has to check you to confirm that you're okay. So they use also a different wording or sentence to express this point. They say, la patente di guida è confermata dal Ministero delle Infrastrutture e dei Trasporti a seguito di accertamento di idoneità psicofisica svolto da un medico autorizzato. So, following the accertamento, that is, if they check you to certify that you are okay, okay, idoneità psicofisica, they are checking your fitness, your physical and mental fitness for driving. Idoneità psicofisica, physical and mental health test, okay, to check your fitness. If this medical autorizzato, an authorized medical doctor, evaluates you and says, okay, you are fit to go on, then it's fine.